Hi everyone. Today we are going to see the OATS script structure and we will understand the different default functions it gives us whenever we try to create a new OATS script. So basically whenever you create a new script, you get some default script structure with some default functions, something like initialize, run and finish. So we'll try to understand the importance of those and what happens if I try to remove those functions or if I try to change the sequence of those functions and so on. So let's try to understand the default structure of OATS script. So I'll straight away jump to our OpenScript tool using which we create the OATS script. So how we create a new script is click on the new icon and you have four different categories, broad categories under which you can create something new. For more information on all creating a new script and record and playback, you can refer to my other tutorials where you will see a step-by-step guide about how to create a new script. Okay, so here I'm going to create a simple web script. I'll select a web category, click next. I'll give some name. So here I'll say demo script and click finish. So whenever you create a new script, doesn't matter under which category you are trying to create a new script. Either you try to create an EBS form script, Oracle ADF, JD Edwards, Siebel, and so on. So whenever you create a new script, this is how your default script looks like. So we'll try to understand what exactly these three different functions which we get when we create a new OATS script. So if you look at it carefully, under a same class, we have three different public functions with return type as void. So basically they are not going to return anything, but yes, all these three different functions are public. So what these three functions are and why we need these three different functions and what is the execution sequence when I try to play back this script. So let's understand that these three functions are the default functions given by OATS whenever we create a new script under any of the category. What I mean to say, whenever you create a new script under Oracle EBS, if you're trying to automate an EBS application, Oracle ADF application, CBILS, JD Edwards, and so on, these three different functions are definitely going to be with you whenever you create a new, and it's going to be under same class. So the class starts from here till here. So now, what is the importance of these three different functions and what is the sequence? So if you try to understand the basics of how the script execution happens, you will understand that the script execution happens the moment I click on this playback button is from line number 1 till line number 29, right? So the script try to execute each and every command in this script, each line by line from top to bottom. The moment it will come to line number 16, it will try to execute this initialize function. When it will come to line number 22, it will execute your run function and then finish. That's our basic understanding. Now, if I say, what if I cut this entire function and if I try to place it after finish, I'll save it. So what I did right now is this one complete initialize function, I moved it from top to bottom. Now, if I ask you what would be the execution sequence when I play back this script, a general student or a general person would say, Saurabh, it will execute first a run function, then finish, and then initialize, right? Because that's how the script looks like. But no, that's not the case. The OATS always executes initialize function first. Doesn't matter wherever you place that function in your script. They will ask me why and why it is being designed like this. You will learn about this in my further tutorials, but right now the importance in this tutorial to understand the default three functions, which is initialize, run, and finish, they are having a specific execution pattern. And doesn't matter wherever you place these three different functions, the execution sequence is always going to be first initialize, then run, and finally finish. So if you ask me, Saurabh, what if I try to put this finish on top. Now how it will execute? Again, it will always execute, as I said, first initialize function, then run function, and finally finish. So it doesn't matter wherever you place them, it's always going to execute in the same pattern. Now let's see a quick demo of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to make that the way it was earlier when we create a new script. So this is the original structure. Whenever you create a new script, this is how it looks like. Three different functions, right? One is initialize, another is here run, and finally you have finish. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply write an info statement. This is similar to your system.out.println. So we simply write info in nodes. So inside, I'll say this is just a comment we'll see in a console when we try to run the script. So I'll say inside initialize method, and then semicolon at end of line. This is just a simple line to print something else. So same thing I'm going to write inside a run method, and same thing I'm going to write inside the finish method. So we have three different print statements. Now if I run this script, what I'll expect, it will print this line first, then it will print run, and then it will print finish, right? Because that's how we are expecting. It will execute initialize, then run, and then finish. So let's try to run this. The moment I click on playback button, this is the console. I'll navigate. So there is no browser launch and nothing as of now. We are just trying to understand the execution sequence of a default functions. Yeah, see, it quickly executed without launching a browser because we didn't write any code to launch a browser. So now if you look at my console, it printed the first line, initialize method, then run, and then finish, right? That's what we were expecting. Now what I'll do is, I'll try to cut this initialize function from top and try to paste it on the bottom. And then I'll see what would be the execution sequence in this case. So now, if someone who doesn't know how the OAT script works, he will expect that inside run method comment should get printed first, then finish, and then initialize, right? But because I have already explained you that it doesn't matter wherever you place this different function, the execution pattern is going to be always initialize first, run, and finish. Now let's see this. I have just pasted the initialize at the bottom, and now if I try to run the script, how the method is going to get executed. I'll go to console, see this. So even if the initialize method was at the bottom of our script, it executed that first, then run, and then finish, right? So with this, now you understood why there is a pattern of a default functions. Now you'll ask me, Saurabh, what if I do not want this function? Basically, you may not even know the importance of these functions. If I try to remove the initialize function and try to save the script, you see some error over here, right? Which says unimplemented method. If you go back to a Java concepts, you will see that you have to implement all the functions, and initialize is one of the functions which you need to, which you should be having if you are extending the other class, right? So that's the reason you must have these three default functions inside your script. If you try to remove any one of them, like I try to remove a complete finish function, and if I try to save it, the script is going to give you errors, right? So that is the reason what we learned today. We must have all the three functions in our script. Second thing, the placement of these three different methods doesn't matter, because the execution sequence is always going to be initialize, run, and finish, right? So thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my video and like it, and leave some comment if you feel the videos are good. It will motivate me to create some more videos. In the next video, you will see the execution sequence, but what happens when you try to iterate them multiple times. So what is the significance of having these three functions in your script? That we will see in our next video. Stay tuned, subscribe to my video. Thank you.